And so I told myself, like, maybe I should try to get some formal training in this. I know I could have gone to YouTube and had less of an expense. But, sometimes just, it's like when you take acting classes. You can go on YouTube and you can self-train, but the connections that you make when you actually train in class, especially if you train with those who are actually working in the field. You train with those who you can network with, who may have other opportunities that they can refer you to. That's the benefit in my opinion, of taking classes, acting classes with reputable instructors, of taking, in my case, radio and TV broadcasting instruction with those who are actually working in the field. And so I made some great connections, some great friends I'm still connected with. And so I had already been connected with Praise Cafe Radio Show. I was already hosting, already going out to the events. Pretty much what other radio stations do when they have their field people out at the events. I was doing that, and I was on air because it was a smaller station. And so when it's being with a smaller station, it's kind of like working in a smaller nonprofit. When you work for the larger ones, your position is more specialized, so you kind of wear specific hats. But when you work for a smaller nonprofit, because the resources are scarce, you get a wide variety of experience. You may be over here one day, over there, and even if you have a specific title and you kind of station where you are, there was times when I would sit in a lot of different meetings. As this book right here, as grants and subcontracts accountant, which I've been a grant accountant for over 25 years. There were times when I would have to sit in a meeting as an accountant with some of the development staff, institutional advancement, education, conservation, depending on where I was working and what the programs were. And so you got, a lot of insight as to what the other departments do, how they contribute, and how all those dots connect. And that's the benefit of working for a smaller station. Even though I received, the board training of how to work the board, I received training on recording and using the Adobe software and editing and so forth. And I also received training on doing on air, but actually being in a position to be on air was even more of a benefit than the training I got in class. They all kind of complemented each other. And so getting back to my original point of how I met Ed Crosby was I was in a stage play and the director was using the Praise Cafe Radio Show as their marketing medium. So I reconnected back with Ed Crosby and was able to have that over 3 years actually that I served with the Praise Cafe Radio Show. And one thing I do say about Ed Crosby is that when I hosted that annual event, he has community partners that had served like me. They may not have been on air. They may have actually been like a paid vendor or a partner who kind of just marketed their services. But once you are connected with the show, you're connected with the show. Once you're connected with Ed Crosby, you're connected. All you have to do is call him up and say, hey, I'm on my way. And he's like, okay, we got pizza. It's here until it's gone. So, that's the kind of guy he is, and I really appreciate that. And all the community partners are the exact same way, of like spirit, welcome arms. It was a really, really great experience. And so, still speaking on the topic of friends and family supporting your businesses, that would be on the topic of friends supporting. And it's really great when you can have that connection. It's like those friends that you may not talk to for a while, but you know that if you see them, it's still all love. You don't have to call them every day, but you will always have that place in their heart, and that is just, it's priceless. It really is. It's priceless. it takes a good sound heart to have those kind of people that they don't let certain and we all have different things that we go through in our lives, and in our own personal lives and our jobs and financial struggles as an entrepreneur. For those who may not have the additional passive income or earned income from a job to fall back on, it can become times of insecurity and just unanswered questions as to what's next. And just having that support group, someone that if you just need a hug, a sounding board to go to, it really makes a difference. Unfortunately, however, sometimes supportive behavior seems to be less prevalent among those of a lesser tax bracket. The very people who really need to pull together their resources and work collaboratively are the ones sometimes that's less likely to support one another. So when you have those groups like the Praise Cafe Radio family, as we call them, family, it absolutely is a. Hi, again, Stella Bee on air. I am here at the Indiana Black Expo, recording live the Painting Your Assets podcast with Stella Bee on air. And another aspect of being supportive, Praise Cafe has a lot of different community partners in a variety of backgrounds. We can have anyone from property taxes to real estate to credit repair. Someone who may do business cards and pluggers and things, and T-shirts that you may need for your specific event. It's a lot of different, and that's what you call diversity in a pool of like this event here, for instance, here at the Indiana Black Expo. There are so many different vendors and a variety of tables of services and products. When you have that group that has everyone there is maybe a speaker, but they offer a different type of service. And the benefit of that is what they call diversity. And so the benefits of diversity and challenges of cultural diversity in the workplace is a topic as well. One of my previous jobs was I worked as a fellow with the Chicago Community Trust. I was an accounting fellow. There was 6 of us in various areas, and I'm gonna read a particular. I think the Chicago Tribune did an article on us. It was a highly publicized fellowship that we went through over a 2-year period from 2006. Actually, it was 2006 to 2009. But the way the months overlapped, it was basically 2 years. And so the article read in the Chicago Tribune, and we were so highly publicized. We were like on the cover of Chronicle of Philanthropy. At the time I lived like near the Beverly neighborhood in Chicago, and I was on the cover of their local newspaper that during that inauguration of the program. We had a lot of various posts on social media. We took professional pictures. Each of the organizations that we work with had us publicized in their publications. In fact, when we were on the cover of the Chronicle of Philanthropy, the Chicago Community Trust blew up like a huge giant poster, kind of like the size of this banner right here, but it was horizontal, of all of us on the cover, and it was literally hanging in their main office downtown Chicago for like several years. It was awesome to have that experience. Continuing on the topic of having supportive friends and family, those 6 fellows became like family to me. Like I have like three different Facebook pages. One of them is specifically dedicated to family, and I have all of them on that particular page because they became like family to me the way we connected with each other. And so when you have groups like the Praise Cafe Radio Show, when you have things like the Fellowship, it's almost like when you go to college and you join the sorority or fraternity. I didn't get a chance to join those. I could have, even though my first year of college at Augie, I think it was like maybe 4% African American. So there was one girl that they kind of partnered with me. I think she was an AKA. And to this day, I still want to join AKA. Like she kind of put a seed in me, but I didn't join at that time. It might have been because I was, in the restrictive church, and so that may have been a part as to why I didn't. And so I took the professional route. So I joined the National Black Accountants Association or the National Black MBA Association. So I just kind of joined the professional organizations versus joining, a sorority. But yeah, you can stay connected and have those connections like that. That's kind of like what that is, a Praise Cafe Radio Show or a fellowship, or sorority or fraternity where they become like family when you have certain ones within that group that you stay connected with the entire time. And it's absolutely amazing. So you can have a positive experience, and then sometimes you can have a not so bad experience. Like Kevin Hart said, the phone can be a gift or a curse. I feel the same way about social media. It could be a gift or it could be a curse. And so it's how you use certain things that could hinder your connection with your foundational people, to be very, very protective of that. But I want to end this episode of speaking on family and friends and supporting with 10 good habits to have. I can't remember where I collected these 10 habits. Maybe a few I kind of found or grabbed online, or just kind of had a few of my own, but these are still some goodies. So 10 good habits to have. Number 1, work out at least 4 times a week if you can. I try to get, sometimes it's difficult during the week. I can still do it if I wanted to, but it's difficult sometimes during the week. So I try to dedicate the weekends to doing my workouts. But work out at least 4 times a week. Write down goals and execute them. Number 3, let go of toxic and unhealthy relationships. Number 4, read at least 3 books a month. I don't know about the month part. I try to maybe read 3 books a year. And if I don't read the book, I love audibles, because I'm on the go a lot. So if I can listen to a book, it's much easier for me to get through a book that way versus actually holding one in my hand. Maybe one day I'll take my books and actually voice them out. Other than right now, I'm doing it, converting the books into a podcast. So maybe this is my audibles. These are my audibles. Number 5, learn a new hobby and turn that into profits. Like not just to do something just to be doing something, but actually be able to generate some profit from that. Number 6, drink water and embrace a healthy diet. I know that's a challenge. I probably backslid a little bit this weekend. But I'm definitely going to get back in the swing of things when I get back to Chicago. Number 7, make new friends and socialize. That is so important. It's important to keep the ones you have. That foundation, those groups, that Praise Cafe Radio family, the fellowships, the sororities and fraternities, your actual natural family. It's important to keep those connections, but it's also important to make new friends and to socialize as well. Appreciate and value family time is what I was saying. Appreciate and value that family time. It's very, very important to do that. Yes. and stopping by, taking my picture. Love yourself. Number 8, love yourself and set boundaries. Like if you could, I think there was a movie I saw once. It was a bubble boy or something. He was a boy in a bubble. I think he had some kind of rare immune system. That's like setting boundaries. Sometimes you almost got to put yourself in a bubble. Just in addition to protecting your peace, you have to protect yourself physically sometimes too. Protect yourself from you and your own thoughts. That's true. Number 9, meditate and think positive thoughts. See, I just said that. You gotta protect yourself from your own thoughts. I know I have my days. If you see me or hear me in my room talking to myself, that's me protecting myself from myself. That's me meditating and thinking out loud. Because sometimes I have to just get things out of my head so that I don't act on them. And if I get it out of my head in my own room and verbalize certain things, then maybe I won't go on social media and lash out. Maybe I won't take it out on my kids or my family. Maybe I won't take it out on, my coworker at work. So sometimes you just, whatever your method is, if you need to go for a run, tear the stairs down, whatever you got to do to free yourself mentally so that you won't take that energy and put it in a negative sense. Use that energy for creativity. Use that energy to burn off, sweat some of the stress off. Sweat off the stress. Do whatever you got to do to meditate and think positive thoughts. And number 10, take care of you always. And all of that 1 through 9 is in the process of taking care of you. Again, thank you. The Pain in Your Assets podcast with Stella Bee on air, finishing up episode 2, season 2, episode 6. Stay tuned.